So, good evening, everyone, especially to my students. I've came here after a long gap to record a video. So इससे पहले हम लोग ऑनलाइन मोड में डायरेक्टली राइटिंग पैड की मदद से पढ़ रहे थे. So this is a recorded video on your chapter electric charges at rest. It is based on your chapter 11 class 7. So okay, so we have already actually have a basic idea of electric charges, which we have already studied in your class 6 as well. So let us first divide it into the different parts. So we have electric charges, which is actually governed by three words: electric, charges, and rest. Electric means related to electricity. Charges are nothing but a sort of quantity which is used to define a property of an object, or it is, you can say, a charge is basically defined as a property of an object in order or in relation with electricity, right? It is a basic property of an object. Like we are studying about mass. What is mass, weight, length, breadth? What is its? If I talk to you, what is your age? What is your name? These are sort of properties. So in the same way, charge is also a property of an object. ठीक है. इलेक्ट्रिक हम लोग जानते हैं, रिलेटेड टू इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, जिसमें हम लोग चार्जेस के बारे में पढ़ते हैं. अब जब हम इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पढ़ते हैं, so electricity is divided into two parts. The first is when charges are at rest, and the second is when charges are in motion. Now there is a reason behind why we study these both topics differently. Because when charges are at rest, they have different properties. We study them in a different way. In other way, now, when charges are in motion, they have different properties. So we need to study them in a more different way. They both have their own applications. They both have their own usage. So first of all, we will study about charges at rest. And after that, we will go on to the next chapter, which is actually your last chapter in your textbook. That is when charges are in motion. So myself, Alok Kumar, Director, Viswas Academy. So we should proceed to this chapter. Let me clear this all. Okay. Let us come to the next page, which is nothing but the introduction. So let me tell you, we all consume electricity in today's world in the form of fan, AC, bulb, machines, which all works on electrical energy. So we have fans, we have ACs, we have fridge, nearly all the electrical equipments in the modern technology use electricity. Now, what is the basic, this is what the importance of electricity in our daily life. Today, electricity is used in different forms to convert into different forms. We use fan to convert electrical energy to mechanical energy. Mechanical energy means movement. Mechanical is related to any sort of dynamic or physical change. So the fan rotates, that is a physical change. So here electricity is taken and is converted into mechanical energy. When we talk about heaters, they convert electrical energy to heat energy, thermal energy. in other words. So this is all about electrical energy. We have also learned in our past about the production of electricity. How do we produce electrical energy? Through hydroelectricity, through thermal electricity, through wind energy and all. So these are all conversions. Coming forward, the question is, what is the electricity actually? In a broader way, like in a hidden way, we talk about electricity. But if we look closer, what is actually happening in a fan? If we say that the fan is using electricity, what does it actually means? So it actually means like flow of charges. To be precise, flow of electron. We have already defined it in our last class. What happens? What the wires you see, those wires actually carry electrons. And when that electron moves, it produces a phenomenon which is known as electricity. Now, I told you when the charges move, so that is charges in motion that we shall not study now. Now, when we say that charges move, we discover or we know that there is something called charge. There is somebody who carry that charge. So we are going to study about that body, that some sort of quantity which is known as charge. What does it exhibit? What are their properties and all? So in this chapter, we will deal about the charges at rest, means the properties of charges when they are not moving. Rest means not moving. The dynamics of the charge will be studied in your next chapter. Okay, so this is actually the first topic of your chapter, uncharged and charged bodies or objects. So let us read out it. An object is said to be electrical charged if it has properties of attracting light objects. Example, a comb when rubbed is able to attract the piece of paper. We must know or we must have been familiar in our past days, in our early days, when we used to rub the comb in our hair, and when we used to pick some sort of papers, it got attracted. It got attracted. We knew this. Now, this is some sort of electrical phenomenon which causes due to charging of that comb, right? So I will also show that do that phenomena when you come in the offline class. So what actually happens that when we rub a comb, when we rub a comb to our hair, right, to our hair, it actually gets charged. There is some sort of charge which is due to the rubbing, right? It's due to the rubbing which gets stored in the particle, and that charge actually attracts the paper, right? So not going so much deep as of now. Second point is metallic substances do not get charged easily, but non-metallic objects like plastics get charged up easily. This is due to their internal chemistry, which we are not going as of now. We will just know it like that metallic substances. Actually, they are good conductors. And in the latter slide, we will come to know like that in conductors, the charges have a good ability to move. So if they move, they will not hold up. They will not just get stuck there. They will continue to move. Thus, the charge will not locate themselves. In other words, we can say the charge will not be at rest. But in plastics, which we know that they are a good insulators, so they locate, the charges get located. इसका मतलब क्या है कि चार्ज वहां पे जाके बैठ जाता है, चार्ज मूव नहीं करता, इसलिए इंसुलेटर्स में ये चीज से देखी जाती है, इंसुलेटर्स जल्दी चार्ज अप हो सकते हैं, हो जाते हैं. Conductors and insulators, material which get up charged easily but does not allow charge to flow is called insulators. Insulators में मैंने क्या बताया कि चार्ज फ्लो नहीं करता, रेसिस्टिविटी या फिर प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ दैट मटेरियल ऐसी होती है, स्ट्रक्चर ऐसा होता है कि जो चार्ज है, चार्ज भी क्या है, सॉर्ट ऑफ एक क्वांटिटी, एक चीज है जो मूव करती है, मूवेबल चीज है ये, राइट. सो उस ऑब्जेक्ट का जो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है वो उस पार्टिकल को, वो उस ऑब्जेक्ट को जो चार्ज कैरी कर रहा है उसको मूव नहीं करने देता, ड्यू टू सम केमिस्ट्री और फिजिक्स, उसमें हम नहीं जाएंगे. सिंपल सा डेफिनेशन है कि जो चार्ज अप हो जाता है जल्दी, दे आर कॉल्ड इंसुलेटर्स, उसमें चार्जेस फ्लो नहीं करती है, चार्ज डू नॉट गेट एनर्जाइज्ड, चार्ज मोशन में नहीं रहता. एंड द कंडक्टर्स आर अपोजिट, कंडक्टर क्या करता है, जो चार्ज को होल्ड नहीं करता, चार्ज को जाने देता है, दीज आर कॉल्ड कंडक्टर्स. एग्जाम्पल मेटल्स हैं, इंसुलेटर का एग्जाम्पल प्लास्टिक्स हैं. आपको यहाँ पे एक होमवर्क दिया जाएगा कि आप अभी बैठो, बुक पढ़ो और come up with more examples of these objects, conductors and insulators. Okay, so coming forward, we shall now move to kinds of charges. So till now we have known about the charges, we have known about the types of conductors, insulators, and different phenomena. Let us move to now kinds of charges. So basically charges are broadly divided into two types, or you can say two bases. So first basis is qualitative, that is like and unlike charges. And the second basis is quantitatively, that is positive, negative, and neutral charges. So first we will study the second part, that is nature of charges. So nature of charge represents the specific properties of charge related to them. So when you will study the book, you will come up with different experiments which led to the discovery of different types of charge. So first of all, we discovered charge. Then we discovered that some group of charge have some different properties and some other group of charge have some different properties. We later came out to know that these were actually differentiated by their sign. Sign means positive charge, which later came to know these charges had positive sign. And in further classes, you will come to know like this positive and negative charge are nothing but they were defined due to some sort of physics related to magnetic and electrostatic field, which we will not consider now. For now, we will only know that these three were the charges. Positive charges which were deflected, which attracted the negative charges. Positive charges which flew away. And we also had neutral charges. So neutral charges is very trivial. It just means substance which do not carry charge are called neutral charges. Now coming back, what are like and unlike charges? So the charges which are same in nature, that is either positive or negative, are called like charges. Nature, as we study now, that is kind of charge, positive, negative, or neutral. So it means like if you have two positive charge or two negative charge, they will be called like charges. as we have already studied in mathematics, like fractions, unlike fractions, some sort of like that. So the charges which are different in nature are called unlike charges. When you have a negative charge and a positive charge, these were called unlike charges. Now, a very important fact that is related to this like and unlike charges is that like charges repel each other. It means when you have a positive charge and a positive charge, it will repel each other. It will repel each other. And when you have a negative charge and a positive charge, it will attract each other. Will attract each other. So this is something which you need to remember. Now we shall come to the activity 3, which is actually based on your book. So I shall just read out it and give a brief discussion about it. You must read it. Take 2 ebonite rods. Ebonite is a metal, first of all. Ebonite is some sort of rod. I shall and I should actually show you on. I will show you actually. I will definitely show you. I guess I need to pause my share, and I guess I would be able to. Yeah. So I was telling you that I will show you what is ebonite rod. So let me show you ebonite rod. So what is ebonite rod? So its name comes from its intended use as an artificial substitute for ebony rod. Ebonite rod is made by vulcanized rubber. So you should now understand that ebonite rod, I have mistaken, I will repeat my words. Ebonite rod is actually a hard rubber. It is not a metal. So it is a very sort of hard rubber. You can imagine like you have soft rubber in your erasers. Now when you make it very hard, it is called ebonite rod. So it is told in the activity that you have to take 2 ebonite rods and 2 glass rods as given, along with 2 strands and some thread. Okay, from which of the 2 strands charge up each other by rubbing them vigorously against flame and silk respectively. Now what you actually do is like you just rub them, rub the ebonite and glass rod. After rubbing, what you do now, you take the charged ebonite rod towards the suspended and glass rod. You will find that the glass rod moving towards the charged ebonite rod. Repeat these observations by charge of the other glass rod. When you bring it turns suspended the ebonite and glass rod, you find that the suspended glass rod move away by the charged glass rod held in the hand. The suspended charge towards. Now what actually happens is, let us understand. What actually happens is like you have a ebonite rod, you have a glass rod. So when you rub it, what happens that the charge, there is some sort of charge which get accumulated in ebonite rod. Now what is happening actually when that charge get accumulated, क्या हो रहा है वो बैठ जा रहा है ebonite rod में. तो अब अगर अभी हम हमेशा जानते हैं, एक फैक्ट है कि हमेशा चार्ज कपल में होता है कि अगर पॉजिटिव चार्ज आया तो नेगेटिव चार्ज आएगा. अब किसे आएगा ताकि वो दोनों आपस में कैंसिल आउट करके बैलेंस्ड रहे. तो अगर इबोनाइट रॉड पे जो भी चार्ज हो रहा है, रब करने से क्या होता है कि एटम्स मूव करते हैं. एटम्स में कुछ चेंजेस आते हैं, केमिस्ट्री है उसके पीछे, जिसके कारण एक्यूमुलेशन होता है. बहुत सारे चार्ज एक जगह पे बैठ जाते हैं जिससे एक चार्ज प्रोड्यूस होता है. तो इबोनाइट रॉड में जो भी चार्ज प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है उसके अपोजिट नेचर वाला ग्लास रॉड में चार्ज प्रोड्यूस हो जाता है उसको रब करने पे। तो इसलिए पहला, इसलिए उसने यहाँ पे लिखा है कि यू विल फाइंड दैट इट गेट्स अट्रैक्टेड। तो एक बार रब करने के बाद आप जब एबोनाइट रॉड को ग्लास रॉड के पास लाओगे, तो क्योंकि उसमें अपोजिट नेचर की चार्ज पैदा हुई है, इसलिए हम जानते हैं कि अनलाइक चार्ज विल अट्रैक्ट, इसलिए ग्लास रॉड अट्रैक्ट करता है। अब लेट्स से कि एबोनाइट में पॉजिटिव आया, ग्लास में नेगेटिव आया। अब जब तुम दूसरे ग्लास, एक और ग्लास रॉड तुम ला रहे हो, उसको भी तुमने सेम प्रोसेस किया, तो उस ग्लास रॉड में भी नेगेटिव चला गया। तो अब ये ग्लास रॉड भी नेगेटिव, दूसरा ग्लास रॉड भी नेगेटिव, तो अब दोनों को जब पास लाओगे वो भी नेगेटिव नेगेटिव, दैट इज दे विल रिपेल ईच अदर। मेरे कहने का मतलब एक ग्लास रॉड ये, दूसरा ग्लास रॉड ये। अब तुमने क्या किया, ये तुम्हारा इबोनाइट रॉड है, इससे तुमने इसको चार्ज किया तो ये नेगेटिव, ये पॉजिटिव, तो ये दोनों क्या करेगा, दिस विल अट्रैक्ट। और इससे तुमने इसको चार्ज किया तो ये भी नेगेटिव, तो अब क्या होगा कि ये दोनों अट्रैक्ट करेगा, ये दोनों अट्रैक्ट करेगा, और ये दोनों जो है वो आपस में रिपेल करेगा क्योंकि ये दोनों नेगेटिव है। ठीक है, तो आज की क्लास यहीं पे एंड होगी। हमारे पास कुछ और टॉपिक्स हैं जिसको हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे। आपसे बहुत ज्यादा हार्डली सजेस्ट किया जाएगा कि आप चैप्टर को पढ़ें। इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू शुड रीड द चैप्टर, राइट? सो दिस इज ऑल फॉर नाउ। हम लोग ऐसे ही फ्लिप मोड में करेंगे, ऑफलाइन में कुछ क्लासेस कर लेंगे, कुछ होमवर्क्स कर लेंगे, और ऑनलाइन में मैं कोशिश करूंगा कि ऐसे ही कुछ लेक्चर वीडियोस रिकॉर्ड करके अपलोड करते रहूं। सारी वीडियोस जो हैं वो टीचमेंट पे ही अपलोड होंगे जैसे कि पहले अपलोड होते थे। ठीक है, चलिए बहुत बढ़िया और अच्छे से